Civil War, a nation divided by the History Channel, was our link to the past and revealed to us many interesting, obscure facts about the Civil War.
Yankees, for example, in their bright blue uniforms, stood out like targets on the battlefield compared to the drab, mismatched clothing worn by the rebels.
Reloading was very often a deadly ordeal. You were open to fire and rarely could you reload inconspicuously. On occasion, you would have a standoff with another person, while at the same time you were both reloading.
There was a wide variety of weapons in the Civil War, ranging from things as old as the saber to firearms as new and cutting-edge as the Gatling. The saber, the standard sword of the time, was used to shank enemies at close range. The musket was used by the poor or more basic infantry who didn't have the money for a more modern firearm. The sharp, which, while being the most accurate, fired only one shot before needing reloading. When fitted with a scope, this weapon served as a decently ranged sniper. The Colt rifle could fire 5 rounds, but lacked the accuracy of the sharp. It also had the benefit of a fairly quick reload time. The Colt was a highly popular 6-shot handgun, which was useful in closer combat, but quickly lost accuracy with distance. Unlike more modern revolvers, powder and bullets had to be separately loaded into each chamber, drastically increasing reload time. They also had artillery, primarily cannons, which were used to bombard enemy lines, destroy cover, and supply stores like wagons. The Gatling was most commonly used by the North to bring down large numbers of enemies in a timely fashion.
Primitive explosives were used, usually in the form of grenades and Molotov cocktails. However, exploding barrels and gunpowder were also used, most often by the rebels as a cheap way to destroy barricades and other Yankee structures.
Most people believe that trench warfare began in the World Wars, but it was used as early as the Civil War, housing nests of snipers and scores of grenade-wielding combatants.
Here are some tasty pastries for the mind. Why did the Yankees win if they were so visible? Why were the rebels so willing to rush the Yankee lines, despite this superior firepower? And did the Yankees win just based on this firepower, or was there some other aspect? The Civil War was not for the preservation of the Union, but for the independence of the South. They tried to separate based on moral grounds, and the Union refused to let them. Woo!
The Gatling was most oh. I don't like that at all.
The Gatling!
Gatling!
And the Union refused to let them release.
Oh my god. You hacked that line again, you pieces of weird.
Pastries!